Great.
Okay, so we're live. We are now live on StreamYard. Frankie is it. Let's add Imogen to the stream. But we're now live on YouTube. Frankie is out and about, and he has a fan that he wants to introduce to us. So where are they at, Frankie?
This is my fans. This is Imogen. Nice to meet you.
What?
So Frankie is saying hello to his fans at the A&W. Bring him in the shot, Frankie. Let's get him on.
What are you doing, Frankie? Did you just blindside someone?
Let's start the show now.
Yeah, we're starting the show now, Frankie. Hold on. Let's start the show now.
This is Frankie McDonald, my own TV station live in Sydney, Nova Scotia. Major storm is headed towards Charlottetown, Prince Edward Island on Tuesday, September 2nd, 2021. It's going to bring a lot of rain. Winds are going to be really strong in Charlottetown, Prince Edward Island, Summerside, Kensington, Cavendish, and all these places. It's going to bring a lot of wind-driven rain, sideways rain for the remnants of Tropical Storm Ida. It's going to hit Charlottetown, Prince Edward Island, Cornwall, Prince Edward Island, Stratford, Prince Edward Island. It's going to bring a whole lot of rain. Winds are going to be really strong, especially on the Cavendish Beach and PI. It's going to bring a lot of rain. Winds are going to be very strong. Be prepared for power outages, including Borden, PI, and the surrounding areas, including Eastern PI as well, because the winds are going to be so strong in Charlottetown and may knock out power and bring down tree branches and bring down power lines as well. It's going to cause flooding. There'll be puddles in the streets in Charlottetown, Prince Edward Island, and Summerside, and the surrounding areas as well. People in Prince Edward Island, be prepared. Have your rubber boots ready, raincoats ready, raincoats ready. When you go outside, wear your rain gear, wear your rubber boots ready, raincoats, keep it dry. Order your pizzas and order your Chinese food, buy cases of Pepsi, buy cases of Coke. Do your grocery shopping. Don't wait till last minute. Do it right now. Make sure every Samsung Galaxy charge, Samsung Galaxy smartphone charge, Samsung Galaxy tablet charge, smartphone, cell phones, laptops, tablet charge, have your 3G, 4G, and 5G, and LTE internet ready as well. Stay away from the beaches and don't go near the shores. There'll be big, huge waves crashing on beaches and shores. Make sure if your flashlights, candles, crank up radio, extra batteries, generators, battery operated lanterns, and bottled water ready as well. Make sure if your emergency kits and medical kits ready as well, because it's going to bring a lot of rain and wind in Charlottetown, PEI, Cavendish, Summerside, Borden, and Kensington, and Woodley, PEI, and the surrounding areas as well. If you have anybody living in Charlottetown, Prince Edward Island, be prepared for it. Major storm on Thursday, September 2nd, 2021. Take care, stay safe. Don't get caught in a major storm. Stay, drive, be safe.
Okay, so that was a throwback for Frankie. Frankie McDonald. It's been a while. It's been 2 weeks. Imogen, of course, kind of the new co-host that helps me manage through all this. Frankie, how are you doing?
I'm doing great so far. It's windy in Sydney, Nova Scotia, same with Halifax, New Brunswick, Maine, all the way to Boston, Massachusetts. Dayton, Ohio's getting warmer weather, going all the way up to Manitoba and those places. Vancouver and Victoria's a lot of rain. Where Imogen is at, they're getting a lot of rain and stormy weather there right now.
Yep, we can tell it's very windy in Sydney, Nova Scotia. Frankie, let's go ahead and mute Frankie for a second while all the wind blows. Imogen, how are you doing?
Oh, pretty awesome. I have a question for Frankie, though.
All
Frankie,
right.
what's the best weather for seeing aliens?
That means they got solar flares shooting from the sun up in space.
That's when we're most likely to see aliens, when we have solar flares?
And might go all the way up to Mars and choose Saturn's moon, Titan, things like that. That's going to disrupt satellites and signals and things like that.
Frankie,
absolutely.
you believe in aliens, right, Frankie?
They get the container. Their aliens are far away. They won't reach the Earth because they're too far. They wouldn't even make it at all.
Yeah, they wouldn't make it.
You're very confident. You're very confident that they wouldn't make it. I got to disagree with that. I think that there are enough types of aliens, and they have varying types of technology available to them. So I think that some of the ones that do have either the ones that are closer to us or the ones that do have more advanced propulsion systems would be able to make it to us.
Yeah, what she said, Frankie. I agree with her. Alien that with the way space travel is becoming more and more, progressed in the world, I definitely agree. Aliens definitely could make it to Earth. It would take them a while.
Volcanoes not letting up in Spain at all. Volcanic tsunami and lava keep flowing around. And in the other news, too many container ships in Los Angeles, major traffic jam. Container ships waiting to line up to get to the port in Los Angeles, New York City, Vancouver, British Columbia, Halifax, and all these places.
Yeah, this has been an issue that's been pressing for Frankie. We talked about this a little bit in our pre-show meeting. I know that's hard to believe that me and Frankie have a pre-show meeting, but we usually do. Frankie called me during work, and he was like, "Hey Trey, there's a shipping container shortage," and I was like, "All right, I guess we'll talk about that then." Yeah, that's a big deal right now, Frankie. What are some of the biggest sort of drawbacks to a shipping container shortage? What do you expect to happen here in the coming months?
It's really, really bad for anybody, not just food, but all the gaming consoles, electronics, computers, jewelry, and things like that. Video gaming consoles, video games, not good for gamers either.
Yeah, another big drawback to this shipping container shortage we have.
That's going to affect movie stars, actors, actresses, rock stars, because music CDs run container ships in movies, DVDs, Blu-rays, all kinds of movies, video games, things like that. There won't be good news for all the movie production companies, video game production companies.
Well, on the bright side, Frankie, there's streaming, and you can pirate a lot of music. So I think there's two things you got going for you there. The one thing that really kind of is a big sort of negative from the shipping container shortage, the inflation is really bad. How has inflation been affecting you guys in Canada?
Well, we have a lot of food shortages on items that we have to import. Part of the farm to table movement it really supports that, or the 100-mile diet, as it's more commonly called, where people are making a concerted effort to purchase foods that are grown within a reasonable distance to their home. I happen to live in an area with a lot of farms, so that aspect isn't really affected. Our farms are still very productive and they're doing quite well. However, a lot of import items are just simply unavailable. Things that I use regularly, like there's a specific type of rice flour that I use for a lot of stuff, and that's just not available here. So for things like that, we have shortages. We have complete wasteland on some shelves in the stores. Other stuff, the price has just completely skyrocketed to an unholy degree. Like on some items, it's close to 200% increase in price.
Man, and that's and considering, I'd imagine taxes up there and all that on like food and everything. The tax on food is already pretty high, so this inflation on top of it won't be very great, I'd imagine.
Well, food is not taxed.
Oh, really? There's no tax on food?
On some food items, there is a tax, like on junk food. Junk food is taxable. Essential foods are not, like basic fruits and vegetables, meat, dairy, things like that. There's no tax on it. But if it's considered like a luxury item, then there is a tax on it. So candy bars, potato chips, shit like that, that all has, like, I don't remember what the tax rate is. In BC, we have two different taxes. We have GST and PST. Some items are Some items get both, which is, I think, 12% tax. Some items only get one, which would be either 5 or 7%.
Right. So that's interesting that you mentioned that. And up north, our friends up north in Canada have that junk food tax. That's if you try to implement that here in America, they might kill somebody. Like there would be death. Yeah. What's kind of your opinion on that sort of taxation?
On like the selective tax of like food items? Well,
yeah.
In Canada, we have really high tax rates. Like we're taxed on everything.
Right.
Over in Iran, Western culture is completely banned. They had to pay high taxes over in Middle East.
That is true. Yeah, taxes are high over there too. But go ahead.
There's a lot of I have a lot of criticisms with the provincial and federal government. I'm not going to go into detail on that, but the application of tax is really questionable here. Like one of the things that was a recent subject of discussion was tampons being taxed. It's like feminine hygiene products in general are considered, they're taxed as a luxury item. However, for a lot of women for women who require these items, it's not a luxury to have to purchase.
No.
It's like, buying any other hygiene items, soap or toilet tissue, diapers for an infant or adult diapers. These are not luxury items, and they're not taxed, but the feminine specific items specific for women are, which is really strange. I didn't even know that was a thing until it was brought up, but there it is. Go figure. So the selective application of taxing is kind of weird. Some things are considered junk food that you wouldn't expect, like and then other things that are clearly junk food are classified differently, so they're not taxed. Like some stores don't tax protein bars, but if you look at the ingredients, it's junk food. It's pure garbage with some peanuts in it, but it's classified as a health supplement and is not taxed.
What about none of it? Their cost of fruits and vegetables really high up there.
Yeah, that's where is Nunavik, Frankie? That's in Canada, right?
That's where Olivier lives in Frankfurt.
Yeah, that's in Russia. That's in Russia. Yeah.
Russia. They have to pay taxes on fruits and vegetables in some countries like Russia, Middle East, and all these places.
Frankie. I think that's Iceland, right?
Okay, Reykjavik is Iceland.
Yeah.
Nunavik. I was thinking Nunavut, which is Canadian. It's a Canadian territory.
And I got any other news on the top sea falls up in Norway. They store all the seeds up in global Svalbard. Doomsday sea falls up in northern Norway.
Yeah. Frankie has a lot of. Frankie is very knowledgeable in seeds. That's his. It's like he's one of the most knowledgeable people when it comes to where seeds are stored. I don't know of anybody that knows more about that than Frankie. Frankie, have you ever thought about becoming a farmer?
No. I do my videos.
Would you consider a patio garden, like growing some parsley in a little planter or something? Or a couple onions?
And did you hear about that? In some countries, people have to pay taxes on fruits and vegetables and basic items too. In those countries in Africa, like Uganda, Kenya, Zimbabwe, Congo, Gabon.
Yeah, they have to pay much higher taxes. I think that would be a good idea, though, Frankie. You should grow a patio garden. You should grow some onions or something.
Get 4 or 5 little flower pots. Put like an onion in one and a garlic in another and some parsley in another. That'd be so cool.
Yeah, I think you'd really enjoy gardening, Frankie. That'd be I think you'd enjoy it.
And I heard that Fred the Bear is on his way to Monica.
Where? Oh yeah, Fred the Bear. We got a Fred the Bear update. So Fred the Bear is taking a plane, I believe, to Monica, right?
It's on a postal truck.
So Fred the Bear is not taking a plane. He's riding in a truck to Monica. Fred the Bear, one of Frankie's iconic characters. I think Fred the Bear has talked to Joey only a couple of times.
Yes.
Who else has Fred the Bear talked to, Frankie?
Gary and Dino show. Record a video myself on Wednesdays.
Yeah. So you do a video every Wednesday for Gary and Dino, right?
Yes,
Yeah. How are they doing?
they're doing great. Fred the Bear is in transit.
Yeah, he's in transit. Another our guest Imogen is still doing some modeling, I'd imagine, right? She's on Instagram. She's
And
still
did you hear about,
modeling.
and did you hear about that any other day? Gabriel must be busy today.
Yeah, I think Gabriel is. I don't know what Gabriel's doing. He's probably writing some raps, but he's a busy man. Maybe he's getting some new suits. I'm not real
And
sure.
did you hear about that up north in Nunavut, where Olivier lives? The cost of food is really high up there.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
real.
yeah, it would be brutal. I can't imagine what cost of living would be like in stuff like that in that region, especially with all of like sort of the shipping, the issues with even just flight, like just transit for any sort of goods is nightmarish on a good day, but up in a remote area like that, I do not envy the people living there. I feel quite bad for them.
Yeah, and it's not a very accessible area. It's kind of out in the middle of nowhere, and there's
Yeah,
not a lot
I
going
mean,
on.
I can't believe humans live there, but
Yeah, me neither.
for their country. Like I don't know why people would live there and not just migrate somewhere a little bit more to a better climate, to a less
Yeah,
hostile environment.
yeah, I don't get it either. I mean, what like it should just nobody should live there. It should just be an unincorporated piece of land that nobody goes to. So I wanted to kind of get back to everything that's going on. Did you do any other shoots lately? Have you done any
Not in the last
shoots?
week. No, not in the last week. I've got a few things that I'm kind of lining up right now that I'm sort of working out that will be coming down the pipeline. Instagram, I'm very active on there. From the last few that I did, I have a lot of material that I'm still sorting through, that I'm still sending out to magazines and whatnot, and putting out on Instagram just slowly. So I've got a lot of material that I'm working with right now, and there is more coming. That's for sure.
Yeah, everybody should follow Imogen on Instagram because it's great. She looks great on all of her Instagram pictures, and yeah, go follow her. She's gonna have more shoots coming. And what else? What else do you? What's like the week for Imogen? What do you usually do during
What
the week?
is well, I do all sorts of stuff. Tech baking is one of the things that I do, like in my day job. I work for a bakery. I also work for a cannabis processing company where I'm
Nice.
doing all sorts of stuff there. I can't go too much into detail on that one.
Good. Yeah. Don't go into detail. You don't want the feds coming.
I have I'm kind of on retainer with a service as their photographer. Uh, discretion being a thing. I'm not going to name names, but I do photography for an escort service as well.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so like I stay active with photography. Not a lot of concerts going on here pre-COVID. So that was definitely a lot of fun. But yeah, there's lots going on. That's for sure.
That's pretty cool that you do a lot of photography for escort services. Yeah. It's very different over there in Canada. It's more accepted over there than it is here in the States.
Oh, it's legal here, very much. It's been legal for a very long time. It's not commonly known because it's really a non-issue, but it's like these are licensed agencies. All of our agencies, they have business permits, licenses, all that stuff. All of the staff, everyone working there knows where and how to access the services that they need in terms of like healthcare or the supports that they need. When someone wants to leave the industry, then they have access to services to help them get out of the industry as well. So it is a very supported within that industry. There's a lot of support for the workers.
I always thought that was really cool. Like because some places it's like it's legal, but the industry is just really shady. like in
Yeah.
certain countries. But I always liked Canada's way of thinking. They were always more like free thinking, you know, like they weren't as they
Not
weren't.
everyone is so on board with it. Like a lot of people are very opposed to the industry in general.
Yeah,
And it's not like there's one personality type. It's not like it's a lot of people seem to think that women would be the most outspoken against it, but that's really not the case. It's that a lot of the support does come from women. It's an industry that is female dominated, and so there's a lot of support from women for better care and protection for those working in the industry. Those who oppose it have their own reasons, and it's a lot of different people that you wouldn't always expect.
yeah, and I mean, you mentioned it with women being sort of you like as more supportive. I mean, they're the ones in the industry. I mean, they dominate the industry, so of course they would.
You know what? In the
Like
name of equality, we need more men hooking.
really, yeah. That's interesting. That you is there a shortage? Like, is it? I'd imagine the ratio is dominated by women, but would you say?
Oh, yeah.
Would you
Some
say that?
people do it.
Yeah, I mean, I'd imagine that's a tough job for a lot of men to do. I'm sure it's tough because that's an industry. Go
The
ahead.
primary clients are men.
Yeah,
and a lot of guys who dream of getting in the industry, they don't want male clients.
Yeah,
So it's
yeah. It's funny that you mentioned this. I kind of like I have a friend who thought about doing his like OnlyFans thing, and when I explained to him who most of the people that were going to be watching his content, he was all like, I don't know if I want to do it anymore. So
yeah, you know what? If he's doing it because if he wants to do it because of he has a sexual fantasy of being watched by millions of women, then he's not going to really enjoy it. He can tell himself what he wants, but he's not going to enjoy it because the primary fans, the largest consumer base for that is men. And I mean, if you look at the statistics, the analytics from Pornhub, and they release this every year, they show the analytics of the demographics of who's watching what, like what the most searched for criteria is, and who the largest demographic consumer is for all these different things. Like they show these very detailed analytic breakdowns every year. So for someone who wants to get into the sex industry, look at those demographics and think about how you would engage with the audiences, like what you have to offer and who's actually consuming it. So when you get into it blind with a fantasy, and oh boy, are they wrong.
Yeah, it's not the glitz and glamour everybody thinks it is. It's like
no. You're not going to make in hundreds of thousands of dollars a year and be met with, it's not Pretty Woman. You're not going to meet some good looking dude with millions of dollars who wants to turn you into a princess. No.
Very rarely does that happen.
It's a lot of $20 blowjobs. Like,
yeah.
If that's what you're into, awesome. Do it up.
Yeah.
Not what you want, don't do it. You'll just hurt yourself.
It seems like a good way to make extra cash. It's not really a good way to your primary because honestly, I'd imagine a lot of people who are in that industry are just trying to get like a side hustle, I would imagine.
Oh yeah, a lot of people just get into it for a short time and then get out. I got to step out for a minute. I'll be right back.
All right, let's see what Frankie's doing.
No, a lot of people go up Nunavut to live just to work up there, up in Siberia. Did you see the TV show Siberian Cut? Those people in Montana, they traveled to Krasnoyarsk, Siberia, went out in the wilderness to cut the trees down. It's so cold up there. Do not take pictures of military installations up there. Do not take pictures of any government. Don't talk about too much over in Russia, Middle East, China, North Korea, and all these places. Don't talk about all North Korea, Libya, and all these places in Eritrea.
Yeah, the thing is with Russia, they're very much they're very secretive. Have you ever thought about joining the KGB? Oh, here's another fan of Frankie's.
Oh, you got news?
Yeah, this is the news. Yeah, we are the news.
Over in Russia, that means you can't talk about too much about Russia.
No. You can't say anything in Russia about Putin or anything, or they will kill you.
So. When you're over there, don't talk to people on the phone.
Yeah, so don't talk to people on the phone in Russia, I'd imagine,
Because the
right?
government controls it. Don't take pictures of military or air force and naval or marine installations and military bases. Don't take pictures of those at all in Middle East, Russia, China, every country in the world. Don't take pictures of military. It's government issues.
Yeah. So, what do you expect to happen if you do take pictures of it or talk on the phone in Russia? Do you think they're listening in on you, Frankie? Like the government?
Yes, there'll be so much trouble.
Yeah. So when are you going to Russia, Frankie? When do you plan to go to Russia?
Strictly perform on stage over there.
Yeah, you're not going to be visiting in Russia, I'd imagine, very long. You're just going to go straight there, do your set, and then leave, right?
Yeah.
Well, that's probably a good idea. I'd imagine staying in Russia is probably not the. Oh, it's the hairless cat.
Yeah, it's
Um,
more.
That means people have to live up north because they got to work for their money.
They do. Yeah. Well, that's just anywhere, Frankie. People got to work for their money. You know, like food for that hairless cat is not cheap. So, what's the cat's name again?
This is Morbo.
Morbo. What's the significance of the name?
He was named after the news monster on Futurama.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah. I know what I remember it now. Yeah, that's the green guy, right?
Yeah, the green guy with the big, weird, lumpy head that kind of, when he gets hot or angry, his head pulsates.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, that was
back to something that Frankie said a few minutes ago. Did I hear that right? A volcano tsunami?
That means a volcanic ash is developing, and a lot of lava flowing down to Spain because volcano rock. That's going to trigger a major earthquake anytime soon somewhere in the world.
So the volcano that's erupted in Spain, Frankie, is shifting the plates. I'm guessing, right?
Yes, the shifting of plates and things like that. That means when it go to those Middle East, don't talk about Middle East too much. Not even Russia or China.
Yeah, Frankie is very much he's locked in on Russia. I think Frankie's got a friend up there. Yeah, I feel like
Russia, don't talk about too much. It's strict over there.
I feel
don't
like Frankie.
Military installations, military base, naval base, army base, and Air Force base or any other bases.
I feel like somebody from Russia is in Frankie's ear telling him to say all this stuff. Like they can't say it in Russia, so they're asking Frankie to relay the message to everybody that's going to.
It's kind of like someone sneaking a little note that says "help" in the back of your iPhone.
A little bit, yeah. Frankie's kind of the liaison for the Russian people that can't speak out. So Frankie's kind of coming out here and letting it be known what not to do when you go to Russia, right, Frankie?
To perform on stage, that's it. And then they leave Russia because they're too strict.
Yeah, they're too strict. Are you a big fan of Russia, Imogen? What do you think of Russia?
I think Putin's awesome.
Really? Yeah. Putin.
Went over in places like Libya, Iran, Iraq, Syria. Too strict over there. That means Western culture is completely banned and run altogether.
Yeah, the internet I think is tightly monitored, right, Frankie? You have to go to a proxy or a VPN, right?
In an entire country, Iran.
Yeah, in the entire country of Iran. So they can't watch your videos in Iran, right, Frankie? Unless they get a VPN.
All of the Middle East, including Dubai.
Yeah, that's not great. That's not ideal.
Well, to be fair, our telecommunications are monitored quite heavily here as well. Not to the degree that they are in Iran, but they are monitored quite heavily here.
Yeah, I'd imagine the telecommunications are monitored pretty tightly everywhere. In America, it's probably, they say that it's not, but I'm sure somebody's listening in. Yeah.
That's keeping tabs on you.
Yeah.
Some hippie asshole trust fund feminist dipshit called the Prime Minister. And if he's as much of a feminist as he says he is, he just got a sex change.
Yeah, Justin Trudeau. That's funny that you mentioned that. Is not very well received over there in Canada from some of the people I've talked to. What do you think are the primary issues that that have
It's the
plagued
major
this?
companies corrupting the votes and things like that.
Right. So I want to kind of ask both of y'all, as an outsider from America, what are some of the major issues that have sort of plagued his campaign?
Well, allegations of sexual misconduct,
That's not great.
the fact that his father was the head of Aboriginal Affairs, which basically ran the residential schools that completely ethnically cleansed our Aboriginal communities across Canada. That's the house that he was raised in. So when he gets into power and starts saying how everyone else is a racist and he's enlightened, but then all of his young photos are him in blackface, mocking everyone. And then his first act as a feminist is to say, I'm making my cabinet 50% women because I'm a feminist, which all he did was create an artificial gender offset of the rest of the country in terms of political representation. So everything about him is offensive and failing.
Yeah. So can he be voted out? I'm guessing. When does the election process take place for?
Well, he tried to force an election. He's got a minority government, which means that he did not win by majority votes, but there was not a single party strong enough to overthrow. There's rumors that he's going to quit, although I do like the fact that his wife cheated on him and apparently beat the crap out of him. So that is
Whoa.
a part. Yeah.
Boy, this is. Oh, go ahead.
He's not really allowed to talk about that too openly. But yeah, his wife and a very famous actor shared the exact same strain of COVID that Trudeau himself did not get, and then pictures of him with his teeth all fucked up, looking pretty haggard, came out.
Oh boy!
So
Justin Trudeau it's not going well for him. I'd imagine his wife cheated on him with who was the celebrity?
I think it was Idris Elba.
Oh wow! Idris Elba. That's probably. Everybody likes Idris Elba. He's in a band and stuff. So I guess that makes sense. If you're gonna cheat on the prime minister, I guess go big, huh? Yeah.
Too many container ships in Los Angeles. Too many container ships in Los Angeles and New York. Big lineups waiting to get to the port.
Yeah, the big containers shortage, as we mentioned earlier. That's kind of the big issue right now in America. At least what they tell me on News Radio 740. It's what Sean Hannity tells me. All these people are telling me that the containers are out. Nobody wants to work, all that. So I don't really know what's going on. But it's good to have people from sort of a different lens that you hear everywhere else give their perspectives. I don't really, like I said, it's so there's so many issues at hand, I guess, there's a lot of things going on. So, but this has been fun. This has kind of been like taking mushrooms a little bit, I'd imagine, with everything that's
every conversation
going on.
with you is like a trip.
Yeah,
every time we talk to you, it's like being on mushrooms.
That's what they tell me. Everybody I've been around the last 2 days have told me that they've been doing mushrooms, so I don't really know.
Awesome.
That's what I'm too scared. I don't know if I could do them. They're too scary for me.
Hey guys, if you want to give up my social media, my Twitter is @Frankie McD, my Facebook is Frankie McDonald, and my YouTube channel Stocks and Wolves. My LinkedIn is Frankie McDonald, my Instagram is Frankie McD1984, my TikTok is Frankie McDonald1984, my Snapchat is Frankie MacDon, and my Clapper is Frankie McDonald1984, my Twitch is Frankie McDonald1984. Best of luck to you. I'm Frankie McDonald. You're listening to Main on Trade Podcast.
That's where you can find Frankie. Frankie, how's your TikTok numbers doing?
Doing good so far.
That's good to hear. Where can they find you, Imogen?
I'm the sum of my pixels. Just Google Imogen Cookie Bailey. I'm the only one on the internet. There's another Imogen Bailey, but Cookie, once you throw that shit in the mix, then there's only one that pops up.
Imogen, you'll be on the El Nino Storm Hunters podcast with Chris Chittick.
Yeah, Chris Chittick. I was on there once or a couple of times, and then I stopped going. They stopped inviting me. So I don't know. I guess I
You
wouldn't.
really did, didn't you?
Yeah, I don't know what it was. I don't guess I was PG enough. But anyway, I love those guys. They're great.
Well, you are a
So,
badass.
well, I guess so. I mean, I stay up really late, so and I drink way too many Dr. Peppers. So I don't know how you can get any
Living on
more.
the edge, bud.
Yeah, I'm really living a reckless lifestyle. So, but anyways, this has been fun. We'll do it again next week, huh, Frankie?
Yes.
All right.
Sounds
Well,
like
all right. Well,
See you
I'll
later.
see you guys next week. You'll have a good one.
fun. See ya.
Bye for now.